$1 million. Hi, this is Alan. Today I want to talk to you about one strategy that, when executed right, can literally be one of the highest ROI activities you have in your company. That strategy, rehash. You may already have a rehash program, you may not have a rehash program. Whether you do or you don't, you should probably pay attention to this video, because I have a system, a structure that literally produces money from leads that are unsold over and over and over again. I've worked with companies that do have rehash programs, I've worked with companies that don't have rehash programs, and it always makes a difference. So I'm going to give you a number of case studies here of companies that are using this to get huge results. Some companies already have rehash programs, some companies don't. So the first company, they were a smaller company. They were probably doing about $3 million a year, somewhere in that range. And literally within the first 7 days, we drove $70,000 in additional revenue, because they'd never gone back in and rehashed any of those leads. And then consistently over time, we were producing $50,000 to $70,000 a month in additional revenue from those leads, specifically from the rehash leads. Then another company, they were doing about $10 million at the time. They already had a rehash program in place, and they actually had a full-time person calling out for rehash, a sales manager picking up the rehash, and they've been running it for a number of years. They were doing $44,000 a month, month in, month out. That was the average across the previous 12 months before I worked with them. And within 5 months, we got that to over $200,000 a month, because it's not that there's not deals to have, it's the system that helps produce the revenue that's going to get you the highest return on investment, that's going to get you the best return on time for putting these systems into place. Now I'll tell you about a third company. So we just put this in place in, actually they kind of kicked off in January of this year, and literally within weeks they have got about $106,000 in additional revenue. They didn't have a rehash program, didn't really know what to do with the rehash program, and kind of toyed around with it for a little while, and then I came along, trained their person, and yeah, $106,000 like in a matter of weeks. It's definitely one of the highest ROI things that you could possibly do. In fact, if you were going to spend $1 and get back 100, if you could give someone $1 and get back 100, how often would you do that? How many times would you do that? You know, if you give someone $100 and get back 10,000, how often would you do that? You'd do it as many times as you had $100 bills to give away, because that's the truth. That's the truth with rehash of the level of ROI that you can get. So let me talk to you about this fourth company that we've put the rehash program in. That's for this particular case study video. This company is doing big numbers, about $80 million a year, 6 locations. We put it into one of the locations, and as a pilot. Now this location, they had a conversion rate of 43%, which is very, very high in this industry across the board. That's 43% across the board in that particular location, but it still meant there's 57% of people that weren't buying something. And they toyed with putting a rehash program in for a couple of weeks, hadn't got any success with it. I went into that company, trained the right person, or train the right people, should I say, the person who's making the call to book the appointments, the person who's going to pick up the deals, and within 3 days we had the first deal. Within the first 7 days we had 2 deals. And by the way, any time I've put this program into place, we have generated revenue within the first 7 days. And then what happened was, 8 weeks later, we got 16 deals to the tune of $252,000. That company will probably produce about $1.2 million out of that one office from rehash. There's the $1 million. $1 million out of rehash. So if you want to know how to drive 10 to 20% more revenue without paying for a single extra lead from leads that are sitting in your database, then connect with me. We'll talk to you, we'll see what's available in your company, if this is a suitable program for you, and start generating revenue for you as soon as possible. Again, anytime I've put this in place, within 7 days we drive money. It's that quick to get a return on money spent, and then over time, one of the highest return on investment things you can ever do is to have this rehash program. Not to mention, it will also help you retrain salespeople that miss things in the home. It'll also help you to generate more referral business than you normally have because of the way that we structure it. So connect with me somewhere on this page, and I will be able to have a conversation with you and talk to you about exactly how we can help you drive the additional money that's just waiting to be had in your business. Look forward to speaking to you. Take care.